Could you please all stand for the national anthem? Thank you so much, everyone. Please be seated. Good afternoon, students, families, staff, friends, board, and foundation members. My name is Kylie Bragdon. I am the Executive Director of Maine Ocean School, and I am thrilled to be here today. I'm incredibly pleased to welcome you to the 2020 Maine Ocean School commencement ceremony. I think we can all agree that today is especially important as it marks a celebration day for our first graduating class. There have been many challenges along the last year of our time together, and I have to begin by saying how incredibly proud I am of each and every one of you. A tremendous amount of thought, effort, and planning has led to this event, and for those of you who have contributed to the school and our overall success, I truly applaud you. In fact, I dare say we should all applaud you. To our graduates, this year it's been my pleasure to witness your self-exploration, growth, and achievements. I've been continually impressed by your overall thoughtfulness and work ethic. You all should be very proud of yourselves. Your families should be very proud of you. As you begin the next phase of your lives, I would like to offer just a few very quick words of wisdom by sharing with you the story of Ida Lewis. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Ida, this woman was born in 1842. Her father was the Lime Rock lighthouse keeper in Rhode Island. At the ripe age of 15, Ida moved out to that island because she loved the ocean. Loved it. She needed to be by the ocean. The only way you could get to this lighthouse, though, was by boat. So she moved out there, and at 16 years old, she made her first independent sea rescue. All by herself. At 16, this young lady, she saved 4 young men who had capsized their vessel. Perhaps her most memorable rescue occurred on March 25th, 1869, when she battled icy waves and heavy winds to save 2 soldiers. Rumor has it she did it without a jacket. Though Ida only had 18 documented saves in her 54 years of service. 54 years of service. That's a long time. Historians actually believe it was much more than that. They say she probably saved more like hundreds of sailors that got lost at sea. Now in 1881, Ida was awarded the U.S. Coast Guard Gold Life Saving Medal, and in 1907, she became the first woman to receive the American Cross of Honor. Finally, in 1924, Lime Rock, the same lighthouse that she served at for 54 years, was renamed Ida Lewis Rock. Quite an achievement. Though there is so much that we can learn from this memorable individual, I hope you remember the following. Please apply this in the future. First, I need you to remember that like Ida, in life there will be storms. It's how you handle those moments that will influence your outcomes. Second, you must know that bravery comes in all forms, and in the future I hope you are compelled to help others, especially when they cannot help themselves. Finally, I encourage you to unapologetically pursue your passions, and it is the only way that you will really obtain greatness. Graduates, I wish you the best in your future endeavors, and would like to now welcome Peter Shelton to the stage for his graduation address.
Good afternoon, family, friends, faculty, and fellow graduates. For those of you who know me, you know that I do not join standing around and talking about things like feelings and whatnot. And for that reason, I intend on keeping this whole shebang as short and sweet as possible. I'd like to begin with a few thank yous. Thank you to the parents and guardians who have supported our endeavors and continue to love and support us as we grow older and continue our education. Thank you to the staff and board of trustees for creating and running a school that caters to students who aren't just passionate about the ocean, but passionate about bettering themselves. And thank you to the teachers for not just teaching us subjects like science and math, but for teaching us lessons on life and encouraging us to become the best versions of ourselves. And finally, thank you to my fellow classmates who have helped to make the school what it is today. Well, we did it. We managed to accomplish one of the major early milestones of our lives, high school graduation. This is a major step in the journey of our lives, and one that should be recognized for its immense significance. It is an act not only of personal commitment, but also of pride. We all worked hard to get to this day, and our work did not go to waste. A high school diploma is a wonderful tool in this world, and has opened many doors of opportunity for our futures. I know it is stereotypical to say that we have faced hard times, but I feel like it's warranted in our situation. I remember wrapping up our classes last year and wondering if school was going to reopen the next year. I remember speaking in front of the education committee with all of the other students, explaining the importance of a school like MOS, and how it mattered so significantly in a committee such as ours. I also remember the feeling of satisfaction and relief I felt when I learned that Maine Ocean School would continue to operate over the coming years. I believe events like these are what will help shape our future. We were faced with many trials while we were at Maine Ocean School, and we managed to triumph them all. Although we learned to solve problems on our own, we also learned the significance of working as a team. And that's why I feel it's important to say that today doesn't just mark an accomplishment in 3 of our lives, but it marks an accomplishment for the entire school as a whole. It'll be the first time that Maine Ocean School has a graduating class and sends its students who have spent the last 2 years preparing out into the world. Something everyone has given blood, sweat, and tears to work towards. Once again, I'd like to thank everyone who managed to come here today, and everyone who made today possible. I'd like to wish the best of luck to underclassmen who will continue to do great things at Maine Ocean School, and I'd like to wish my fellow graduates the best of luck with their future endeavors. I know that we all make MLS proud. Thank you. I would like to now introduce or invite Abby Stem to the podium to give the student address.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Abigail Stem. I'm sure anyone that will come to Maine Ocean School can say that they've had a unique high school experience, but it'll never be as unique as these past 2 years. It's weird because as young, angsty teenagers, we made the decision to be guinea pigs for a school that wasn't 100% stable simply because we love the ocean. We stayed simply because we love the ocean, and we fought for the school simply because we love the ocean. What's great about this school is it's composed of a bunch of totally different personalities, all of which are quite far from normal, might I add. We're all from different backgrounds, we all hold different opinions. As a class, we've debated numerous times over things like autonomous shipping, and also the difference between a pulpit and a bowsprit, which that one actually lasted for a good couple of weeks. And we tease each other, we joke with one another, but at the end of the day, we come together as a family. Since I truly love this class as a family, I would like to annoy my class one last time with this. And I oops. I would now like to introduce Miss Bragdon.
Great. And now for our commencement speaker, Mr. Dope.
Hold one just a moment. Back. You might not be able to see it that well, but you'll be able to hear it.
How cool is it to be the first graduating class from the Maine Ocean School? What an opportunity that you've had to experience a new school, to build new traditions, a new culture, new opportunities. And it's a pleasure for me to be able to talk to you. I'm sorry that it's virtual, that I can't be there in person, but I just want to share my excitement with what you've achieved and my best wishes for as you move forward. I have a few thoughts for you as you take the next step from the Maine Ocean School, and just some ideas as you think about how to approach the rest of your life. Here's number one. Take more risks. Be bold. I'm convinced that the main thing that holds us back in our lives is a little man that sits on our shoulder and says, you can't do that. You can do that. Now, when I say take risks, I don't mean do something stupid, riding a motorcycle with a case of beer on the back. I'm not talking about that. But I'm talking about reaching beyond yourself and trying something that maybe you're not sure you can master. It's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to fail every now and then. If you don't, that means you're not trying hard enough. Did you ever stop and think? There's a multi-million-dollar industry in this country putting erasers on pencils. That's because every now and then people make a mistake. That's fine. Wayne Gretzky, the great hockey player, once said, I miss 100% of the shots I don't take. Think about that for a minute. I miss 100% of the shots I don't take. So take your shots. Take your opportunities. Reach beyond what you think you can accomplish. I think that's one of the most important pieces of advice I can give you. When I was just about your age, an old man gave me a piece of advice that's literally changed my life. I've thought about it and used it as a guide to making decisions ever since. Here's what he said. When you get to be my age, you're going to regret things about your life. See that you regret the things you did, not the things you didn't do. Don't look back and say, I wish I'd tried. I might have, I could have, if only. Regret the things you did, not the things you didn't do. Err on the side of action. That's number one. Number two, attitude really is everything. I've hired a lot of people in my life. I rarely, if ever, have looked at their grades or where they went to college or where they went to high school. What I hire for is attitude. Somebody who's positive, who solves problems, who doesn't take no for an answer, who gets to the root of the thing, and is positive about moving forward. That's so important. Here's a little saying you can remember. It's your attitude and not your aptitude that determines your altitude. It's your attitude, not your aptitude, that determines your altitude. How far you're going to go in life is determined by how you approach life. I'll tell you one quick story. A little boy on Christmas morning comes down. There's a huge pile of presents under the tree. He sits and opens all the presents, and he's plowing through them, and he looks up at his mom when he's opened this big pile of presents. He says, is this all? And he's sort of down. Another little boy comes down Christmas morning, and looks around his living room. There are no presents. There's nothing under the tree. But all of a sudden, he gets excited. He's fired up. He's bouncing off the walls. His mother said, "Why are you so excited?" He said, "Because there's a little pile of horse manure over here. I know there's a pony here somewhere." That's attitude. He had a positive attitude. And that really, I can tell you, as somebody who's hired people, that's what you look for. And that's what will make all the difference. And you know what? Your attitude will make you happier. If you're negative and down and looking at the dark side, lo and behold, it's going to be a negative day. It's going to be a gray day. But if you look at the positive, it'll work itself out for you. Number 3, honesty is really important. The one thing that you'll have in your life that can never be taken away from you by anybody else is your good name. Only you can give it away. Only you can harm the reputation that you have. And right now, as you're leaving high school, you're building that reputation. It's like sculpting in concrete. And I don't know if in your work you've done anything with concrete, but it starts out really soft and easy. You can put a handprint in it, it's easy to mold. But once it sets, you have to take a jackhammer to it to change it. That's your reputation. You are molding your reputation right now. But in a few years, it's going to be set and people are going to know who you are. See that you're a person who's reliable, who's honest, who can be counted on. And sometimes you have to be honest even if it hurts. You have to fess up to things, even if it's going to cost you. Because in the long run, that reputation for honesty is one of the most important things that you have. Number 4, this is going to sound a little funny, but I'm absolutely serious about it. Never write anything on the internet that you don't want your grandmother to read on the front page of the newspaper. That's a good rule. Just put that in your head. Do I want my grandmother to read this on the front page of the newspaper? Maybe not. Because everything you put out there, whether it's a picture or a caption or an Instagram or a tweet, it's there forever. It's a digital tattoo. And guess what? I'm going to say something that'll scare you right now. Employers know how to use Google. You go in for a job, they're going to say, "Oh yeah, look at this picture. Look what they posted on Facebook. Look at this. Look at this nonsense that they said, or this terrible thing that they said. I don't think I need this person." So just think about King's rule. Nothing goes out over the internet that you don't want your grandmother to read on the front page of the newspaper. That'll help you. Finally, friends and family. Take care of them. Love them. Keep close to them. They're all you got. When times get tough, and they will, you'll have tough times, whether it's in a job or a relationship or illness, health or something. Friends and family are who you have. But in order to have them be on your side, to be with you, to be close to you, to give you what you need, you have to give to them. Here's an example. A couple of years from now, perhaps one of your classmates is going to call you up and say, "Hey, I've met this wonderful person. We're getting married in Chicago. Please come." And you're going to say, "Oh, Chicago, that's a long way, and I don't have the money and an airfare." No, go. Be there for them because you want them there when you need them. The Beatles, you maybe have heard of the Beatles. You can Google them. Your parents will tell you about the Beatles. But the Beatles put it this way in a song. The love you get is equal to the love you give. Pretty straightforward formula. The love you get is equal to the love you give. So take care of your friends and family. Value them. Stay close to them because they're going to be very important to you in good times and tough times. So let me go back to the beginning. How cool is it to be the first graduating class from the Maine Ocean School? Congratulations. And Godspeed to the class of 2020. How cool is it?
Giant thank you to Senator King. Next up, I would like to ask Cole and Hannah up to present the class gifts.
Yeah, there it is. Sorry. Yep. Alright, sorry about that. First of all, my name is Cole Natale. I'm the vice president for the school. And now to get on with the speech. First of all, I'd like to say how grateful I am to actually be part of this ceremony, seeing as the coronavirus has done a pretty good job ripping us all apart. And so we're all gathered here today for the very first graduation of the Maine Ocean School in history. This school has students from all over the state, from Hamden to Waldoboro, who are all brought together by their passion for the ocean. When we first started back in 2018, I did not know any of these people, except for May and I having a weird mutual feeling of knowing each other from somewhere in the past. And to be honest, I wasn't comfortable at all in this completely new career, until maybe 2 weeks in. As the school year progressed, most of us went from complete strangers to being like a big, and for the most part, happy family. Abby acted as our constant life of the party, even though it was a classroom. She made it feel like we were at some kind of exciting, mostly school-appropriate event almost every day. May brought her quiet sense of humor into the classroom, along with a variety of sweaters almost as interesting as her brother's. She also had a higher maturity than most of us, so much so that at least 2 of us accidentally addressed her as Miss B, one of the teachers, a few times. Yeah, that was Noah and I. And lastly but not least, Peter blessed the school with his seemingly infinite knowledge of everything boat and World War II related. Each of them added their own unique presence to the classroom, which we will all feel the absence of in the coming years. Today, Hannah and I are beginning a new tradition at MOS, which includes the secretary and vice president of the school awarding the graduates with these sailing knives and marlin spikes from Hamilton Marine, which they will hopefully be able to use in their future work. This is definitely going to sound cliche, and Peter doesn't like getting emotional, but I'm going to miss you guys a lot. You finished this part of your voyage through life, pioneering a new path while you were at it, and now you're off to the next stage, in which we wish you goodbye and good luck. Thank you.
And next up from the board, we have Gail. Thank you, Kylie. And I went over this speech with my son yesterday, and he said, "Don't do that," and I'm gonna do it anyway. Wow, here we are. Holy moly. You know, I can't tell you how much it means to be standing here with all of you to witness this and to share it with you. I'm currently the chair of the Board of Trustees of the school, and it's been a long road to get here, and it's quite amazing. So you guys have spent 2 years, the first students of the Maine Ocean School, something that was only a twinkle in the eyes of some of the founding members of the school, who dreamed of what it would be like to see you crossing the stage. Students with the same pioneering spirit that the ocean sparked in them, and those ocean trailblazers before them. From the people of the Dawnland, the Wabanaki, stewarding Maine's lands and oceans for thousands of years, to Archimedes, traditionally known as the first marine engineer, to the brave captains of Searsport of the 19th and 20th centuries, and Henry Bigelow, an oceanographer, explorer, and founder of Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution, and more recently, those who have braved the barriers of racism and other inequities to pursue careers in marine-related realms, and including the African Americans who are only recently credentialed who could do work in the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution. Our board took their passion for the ocean and turned it into a school, a vision encompassing opportunities for the young people of Maine to embrace things earlier in your lives than we have had the opportunity to embrace. For one of our board members, seeing the changing community landscape and embracing the historic culture of that community to write legislation to start this endeavor. For another, climbing the hawse pipe from officer to captain. And for myself, overcoming the odds of just wanting to be a marine biologist and overhearing a professor say, "I'm not sure why we're educating women when they will just end up graduating and having babies," to becoming not only a mother, but a full professor of marine science and a director of a research institution. So you're also fortunate to have an equally passionate school staff and teachers, and I'll come back to that, but just point out to you, a leader with deep roots in the lobster industry with a father who instilled in her the passion for education, and teachers and staff who have poured their hearts and souls to bring their passion for the ocean and teaching to this school. Now it is your turn. Over these last 2 years, you have embraced and conquered many obstacles, not the least of which is being the first students and families to take on this risky opportunity this new school had to offer, but being on the front lines, as Peter mentioned, of the growing pains of witnessing the important scrutiny of critical oversight to the school, not to mention the enduring transitions related to global pandemics and the pressures of racial injustices of our time. But just as those before you have found their ocean adventure and sought to meet it, we hope we have given you the head start to follow your passion. As you know, the ocean remains largely unexplored. So as William Shakespeare once wrote, "Why then the world's mine oyster, which with a sword I will open." We hope that we have opened that oyster for you with the sword to discover what is yours. Now, please let me stop before we give you guys your diplomas and thank the teachers and staff who have made this possible for you, particularly over this last year. So I want to recognize Kylie, and if you guys can all stand up, Megan, Christy, and Andrew, and if we can all thank them for all their hard work over the last couple of years. And after the ceremony, the board will present to each of them a small yet apropos gift of a ship's bell that we will use to call them all back to the school in the fall. And sticking with the bell theme, the ship's bell was an early timepiece used to mark the time on ship's watches. So to mark the end of your watch with us and send you on to your marine explorations, this is your cue, we will ring it eight times. Well, there's two. We will ring it 8 times to signal the end of your watch with no incidents. 8 bells and all is well. And now we can move on to the diplomas. Make sure you're all safe. I'm going to put on my mask and my Purell. So first, we'll have Peter Alexander Shelton, who will be attending Maine Maritime Academy in Castine, studying marine transportation operations. Next, Abigail Ruth Stemp, also going to Maine Maritime Academy in Castine and studying marine transportation operations. And May Young, going to University of King's College in Halifax, studying sociology and anthropology. And with that, I would like to invite Abby in leading the class of the Turning of the Tassels. If you guys could each please stand. Thank you guys, please be seated. And now I am incredibly honored as the Executive Director of Maine Ocean School to present to you the class of 2020. Congratulations, guys. I know you're going to do wonderful things. The music, DJ.
Which one?
The last one.
Okay.